This is 012 Boku and
Jherick the Triplicate Jackass.
And we are coming at you with Jherick's takes, because if you guys remember, I think it was earlier this week, if not last week, I did my single short review of Legion of Superheroes, if I can get that right for you guys. I know it's like sentiment thing. Yeah, there you go. Probably a good one there. Legion of Superheroes, and again, it was episode 9, aptly called Brain Drain. And take it away, Jherick, with your thoughts.
And hey, look we got Hockey the Super Pup with us.
He was with us on another episode before, if you guys remember, jumping all up and down and say, hey, here he is again. Yeah. He saw me in my clothes, because I'm getting ready to take him for you-know-what after this, and he couldn't wait, this guy. He saw me, and he's like, where are we going? Not yet.
Man, how funny.
I would have asked you earlier, but you went shopping, so...
How funny we're talking about the lost Kryptonian super dog, because today's episode involves a lost Kryptonian AI. You might almost say it's a Kryptonian chat GPT with a 12th level interface. But yeah, we get to have a fun episode that's all about Brainy when he's not so brainy.
Yep.
Because he's kind of disconnected from the hive mind. He's away from home and
the thing I wrote down, the Cyclopeans or the.
Oh, the Kaluans.
The Kaluans, yes. I guess I just have to start thinking of Kahlua. Kaluans, yep.
Not to be confused with chlamydia, but anyways.
I would hope not.
Well, I mean, considering Infectious Lass almost became a member, it's a possibility. But anyways, yeah, space chlamydia, there's something to think about. But anyways, he's away from the hive mind. It's time for the update, and oh, would you look at that? He has to upload Windows 11 to his OS. I'm sure nothing wrong could happen. And then Brainy goes stupid. And they have to spend a whole episode trying to get Brainy to the one chunk of this rare mineral called Zunium. Not to be confused with Zune, because he makes wonderful Toho games. Not to be confused with Nicurium, because that cures depression and also causes cute little Oni girls to appear. It's Zunium, apparently, and it's the rarest element in the universe.
Which apparently we learned in this episode is Timberwolf's old home planet.
Yeah, irony, huh? But this is a fun episode because one thing I really love about this cartoon in particular is how it only has, it separates every member, it never really explains why, so that only members critical to a particular type of that particular episode are present, because if they would have had, like, say, Phantom Girl for this would have gone way easier and way smoother. So, isn't it convenient that she was off doing something?
Which again, since you mentioned that, so you guys know what we're talking about. I probably mentioned it in mine, but Superman, Clark Kent, Lightning Lad, Brainiac 5, Saturn Girl, and Timberwolf.
And this is also another reason why I love this show, because not only does it, take away members who would have made this mission way too easy, it also leaves us only with the bare minimum members who have the right power sets and applicable behavior patterns to actually do this.
Yeah.
And make it entertaining.
Oh, and of course, since you brought it up that they need to get to Zunium, they can't get to Zune unless they take a matter type of transport, because their ship can't fly there. It's way too far.
Yeah, I believe they said it was an unstable antimatter transporter.
Yep.
Which, hey, it worked out just fine for, God, what was his name?
Timberwolf.
No, the guy who plays the Collector in the MCU, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally didn't turn him into a flight hybrid or nothing.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, hey, you gotta travel to Zune? Well, you're gonna need a Shrine Maiden, a summoning ritual, and permission from a powerful yokai. So, oops, wrong Zune. Anyways, they have to go to his old homeworld, which apparently is a planet-wide live Resident Evil simulator. Because, yeah, it's so polluted and the atmosphere is so fucking weird that, if you breathe that shit in long enough, you start mutating and kind of going nuts.
Which basically that's what all the miners became. They became mutants because, probably should mention when they got here, only Timberwolf, Superman, and Brainiac 5's head made it through, where Brainiac's body went to a place called, Dupinier 3, which is an ice crystal tower place where they take a whole lot of time to form, and Brainiac's bumping into everything, ruining the ice crystals, and then chasing the guy bot around where Lightning Lad and Saturn go out to get that back to hilarious results.
I love like the whole area with just these unstable teleporters because it reminds me of like of Monsters Inc. I just want to see like the guy who was on duty be like, I'm watching you, Super Brat. Always watching.
Yeah, Miss Ratchet or whatever her name was.
And it's also funny because, like, you know, before they go, Brainy's having a nasty case of the mandatory Windows update, and we get to see him ramble, but you think it's unintelligent ramble, but really it's just his normal 12th level intellect kind of having to filter through his what's it called, malfunctioning chat GPT protocols.
Well, that or just being way more childlike than he is, because he isn't like a computer. He's actually more like a crazed kid being a kid for the first time.
But if you pay attention though to what he's saying, I mean, if you think the way he's currently expressing himself, you realize he's actually warning them because he's like, ooh, that place is full of red ants. Red ants are bad. Superman shouldn't play with red ants.
Yeah, and then he mentioned black ants before then. Black ants are everywhere. There are black ants.
And it's funny to think about because it doesn't make sense until you get to like the end of the episode. But don't worry, we'll get. And plus, with the way all the unstable antimatter transporters are set up, it reminds me of Project X Zone with like those areas where you have the key, you activate a portal, and then a new friend just pops out, and then you have to tell them, hey, we kind of accidentally kidnapped you. Would you like to help us save the multiverse?
Oh, and then not to mention, like I said, with Brainiac 5's body being on Dupineer 3, they only got the head to where it's like, yeah, I feel funny. Well, that's because you're only a head, Brainy. But also the note here, which I'll let you go into, Superman went through and feels sick for some reason.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, because with him acting like an idiot and now being reduced to a head, it kind of reminds me of, like, Headpool from the Marvel Zombies universe.
Oh, yeah.
And with his body basically being on another planet, it's up to Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad to go chase after the body, while Timberwolf and Superman have to get his head to the Zunium, which is at the bottom of a mine shaft in the center of town, and unfortunately, Superman can't fly, and in fact, he doesn't seem to have any of his powers right now.
Use your ring. Oh yeah, I forgot I had it up.
Yeah, he never had to use it before, and it's like, kind of makes sense when you but it's kind of funny because Timberwolf doesn't really use his ring all that much in this episode either. But hey, he's a man-wolf.
Well, yeah. Well, again, he made that hilarious joke right before they went through the matter transport. You know, we need to be careful here. Why is that, Timber? Well, last time I went through, I lost my tail. Joking.
I love when he plays around with them like that.
Oh yeah.
And plus, this is a nice episode because not only do we get more Timberwolf, but we actually get to see how much of a good hand-to-hand fighter he is.
Oh yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like Sabretooth from the X-Men back when he was, it was the 80s and he was still scrawny and stuff. Oh, shit, I forgot I was wearing my X-Men t-shirt. Well, shit, planet full of mutants, dangerous mission, man-animal on the loose. Heck, man, this is some nice serendipity here. Anywho, Saberwolf is basically having to be the team aggro and also kind of the team MVP while Superman fumbles around and tries to get Brainy's head to the mine shaft, which goes about as well as you would expect if you've ever played like Streets of Rage or any of those other old 80s beat-em-ups. Yeah, it's time for the elevator fight sequence. Fight! And again, Timberwolf is pretty much doing all the heavy lifting here because, Superman doesn't have his powers. And then they get to the bottom and the fun really begins because, hey, what's worse than a Resident Evil server full of brainless assholes trying to kill you all day? Oh, I don't know. How about a stealth section a la Metal Gear with a bunch of mini Metal Gears?
Pretty much, yeah. The mining robots, which Timberwolf aptly puts up, they do their job, but they're spooked by a whole bunch of other people, and they don't like them, so they all start attacking them, which, Timberwolf does his awesomeness still. Quark, who doesn't have a super strength ability yet, has to get away from him, but then finds a mech suit a la Aliens and starts wreaking havoc that way.
Get away from Brady, you bitch! And Brady decides, ooh, they're playing Spider. That looks fun. I want to play Spider too.
And then he gets it and he's like, I want to dance. I can dance again.
He looks like a fucking robot roach trying to dance around. And God, now I'm getting Borderlands 2 flashbacks all of a sudden. But this actually kind of reminds me of an interesting moment in the comic, the issue Higher Education, where Brainy has to go back to the planet Kalu, or I forget how it's properly pronounced.
Kaluan 5 or Cylon 5?
Yeah, and he basically has to take like his SATs, and he's kind of worried because apparently he's not performing up to his usual 12th level intellect standards, only for him to realize that, oh, wait a minute, I got hacked by that one asshole in the Fearsome Five, who, of course, show up to try and kill him, but it's actually kind of fun because, Brady's always kind of fretting the idea that he's, basically just a artificial, techno-organic virus machine thing, whereas everybody else is people, but it's kind of fun because in this fight, he defeats the cyborg guy who hacked him the same way Machine Man beat the shit out of Iron Man 2099 back in the day. Well, yes, you're a man, but you're only pretending to be a machine in that outer shell. I, on the other hand, am full machine. That means I can program my whole body ahead of time at a moment's notice, whereas you have to take time to input the commands. And he basically coils out his arm around them and just wraps around him and shocks him. Brainy kind of does the same thing. But it's a fun little thing to point. It's like, yeah, it's fun to be Iron Man, but, if you're going up against an Ultron, they're going to have the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, they're basically struggling. Superman gets his little power loader, but problem is it's great against alien queens, but horde mode against the swarm, not so much.
Yeah. Well, and then at the same time, too, they're both fighting to get him away from Brainiac 5, but then he keeps going, and like you said, something clicks in him where he's now trying to get to the Zunium because it's like a bit of his old self keeps coming through, and then as soon as his...
Well, and there's also a small problem we neglected to mention earlier. See, Timberwolf mentioned that the radiation levels in the deepest parts of the mine are so bad that even the safety suits aren't really going to do much to stop it eventually. The exposure will just get through. And Superman, God bless him, does come in clutch and get Brainy's head. Well, you think he dies because it kind of looks like he went offline, but he manages to get Brainy just close enough to the Zunium, which looks suspiciously a lot like a certain mineral from another world. A gold-colored one, no less. So it's very fortunate that Superman was wearing that safety suit, because if that was what I think it is, considering how rare it is, it's probably not Zunium, it's probably gold kryptonite.
Well, also, when I brought that up, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I mentioned, too, your theory on that, and I'm like, well, the thing is, when you realize it could have been the high levels of radiation altogether, and him not having his powers, but also, was it the gold kryptonite affecting him? Because as soon as he started getting closer to it, that's when Quark lost his strength and fell. It looked like he was hurt and used the last of it to get Brainiac there. And if you remember, he passes out, but then wakes up as soon as Brainiac 5 absorbs it and is back to normal.
And that's a weird thing, because there's another reason why his powers didn't work, up on the top side of the planet, but we're about to get to that. But the gold kryptonite, yeah, for those of you who are comic book fans, you probably already know exactly what that does. And if he didn't have that containment suit, we probably never would have had a Superman to begin with.
Well, and the funny thing is, before they get attacked by the mutants, there's that part where, Brainiac just starts listing off all the different types of kryptonite and what they can do.
Well, he's talking about different colors, but he doesn't mention kryptonite. But what's interesting is when you watch the episode, all the colors correlate to the major types of kryptonite you usually see in a Superman story. Let me think. There was purple, blue, green, red. And it's like, those are all a lot of the major ones you always see. Well, except maybe for like the purple one, because I think that only showed up once or twice. Oh, I think they also mentioned pink, but we don't talk about the pink one for obvious reasons.
Yep.
But yeah, the gold one is
one of the...
Oh dear, those tights just look so good on you. But I'd love to get you out of them.
Superman, that color is so you.
Blue and red, that just does it for me, girlfriend.
Oh, hey!
Yeah, you all know what we mean.
Yeah.
But the gold one, yeah, that's probably like the second most dangerous form for like Superman, because that just takes away his powers forever. And there actually have been a few stories where he's used it for that. But the only other one I can think of more dangerous than that would be black, but we all know what that does. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
But fortunately, no,
it's alright. I didn't hit this thing for a while, that's probably why.
Brady! But yeah, we get, he finally gets the old Brady back, and as they're walking, to get put the $6 million techno-organic virus back, Superman asks him, it's like, hey, the whole time I was on that world, I felt strange. I couldn't fly or do anything. It's like, oh, that was because Zune orbits a red sun. Your powers only work under the light of a yellow sun, which, by the way, has been retconned to be a lie now. It works under the light of any sun, except for, like, red and green.
Boy, that was stupid. The yellow made so much sense, because purity, wee!
Well, and the funny thing is, like, yellow suns are some of the rarest ones in the entire universe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're actually orbiting one of the rarest stars there is in existence.
Well, how many red dwarves have we found in our galaxy? Quite a few, and red dwarves are basically the red suns.
I mean, like, thanks to the retcon they did recently, like, blue ones, I forget what those do, green ones, kind of, no, it was like I think the purple ones give them, like, purple lantern powers.
Yeah.
And if you have no idea how crazy that is, you should read Green Lantern comics, it's nuts.
Well, then not only that, getting into the scientific point, like they say, brown dwarves are things that almost became the sun, but didn't, say, quite make it. Yeah.
I mean, technically, our sun's a dying star because that's why it's yellow. It says it's a sign it's on its last couple star cycles.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, and he's like, oh, that's because your powers only work under the light of a yellow sun. It's like red radiation from a sun will take your powers away, and he's like, why didn't you tell me this? He's like, I wanted to, but I couldn't. There are things you need to find out within your own time, on your own. I can't let you know everything. And Superman's thinking to himself, I wonder what else you haven't told me. Which sounds an awful lot like that video with the Son of Zod, the Phantom Zone generator. That little thing they went to steal from Brainiac 5 that he kind of forgot about.
Yeah.
Which
well, again, that disappeared with Zod's son or whoever that guy was into the portal itself.
Yeah. And it kind of brings up an interesting point because, yeah, you can't afford to tell Superman too much about his powers. Canonically, he does have to figure out some of this stuff on his own in Smallville. Otherwise, he'd be too powerful and it would disrupt the timeline too much. But there's also the fun little moment I overlooked to mention with Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad having to chase Brainiac 5's body.
While he's chasing the guide bot, who's like, no, stay away from me, because he wants the guide bot, I'm gonna guess, for a head.
Yeah, because it's kind of funny, like, in the beginning, you get the impression that, while she probably would have wanted to, like, just mind read Brainiac to figure out why he was acting so weird before he got the upload, but didn't, because her powers probably wouldn't have worked on him with his 12th level intellect. But now that he's stupid, she actually can affect him. And it's actually pretty funny, too, because the way she tricks him in the way Lightning Lad comes up with a plan to use Saturn Girl to create an illusion of the little assistant droid and have him chase that illusion into the portal, which worked perfectly. And it was such a simple solution, but it only works because Brady's kind of stupid at the moment.
Why don't you read my mind? Oh, that is a good plan. Told you.
And it's such a sweet moment because you can tell Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad have quite the history with one another. And those of you who've read the comics extensively already know that. I mean, heck, I think in every timeline they get married and have kids with one another, so there you go. And by the way, the Saturn Girl's pretty freaking hot in the comics. I mean, yeah, don't read my mind, girl. You don't want to see what's in there.
Yeah, but yeah, of course. But all right then. Since we are on a limited bit of character, who were your characters in this one, Jherick?
Ooh, interesting.
I basically went down the whole list and said everybody was great, but I picked Timberwolf again, Brainiac 5 being the big one, Superman being another big one, and I had to give it to Billy West, the Dispatcher, and Guy's body was just hilarious in that whole thing.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a tie for first place between Timberwolf and Brainy 5, because seeing Brainy 5 be a goofball was really nice.
Oh, yeah.
And again, we get the insinuation that there is just so much he cannot tell Superman. Which, by the way, we are going to see that payoff in the later on. And second place definitely has to go to Superman because, I mean, hey, it's Yuri Lowenthal. You know I'm picking him.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, third place is going to have to go to our ragtag duo of Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad.
Oh, yeah, just to make sure you guys know, since we mentioned them, Yuri Lowenthal, Adam Milder, Adam Wiley, Kerry Walgren, Sean Harrison.
And, I mean, it was great, too, because, again, they have a great dynamic with each other, and it's always just fun to see the back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Because after all, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes in the show, but Lightning Lad is actually kind of royalty. I believe Saturn Girl, to some degree, is like either a noble or something, but it's kind of fun because Lightning Lad acts like a poshy little prince. He acts more like a pricky little jock, but that's what makes it fun, She's the straight-laced... he's a skater boy. See you later, boy. He wasn't good enough. Oh, wait, yes, he is. Shock me, Lightning Lad. Shock me harder. Shock me Anakin style. Unlimited perfection.
Alright, if you want to take it there.
Well, I mean, come on, let's be honest. I wouldn't be too shocked if she asked him to give him a little of the good touch.
Yeah, I guess so. But then overall, I'm taking it you like the episode?
Oh, yeah. And this is kind of the moment I referred to where the cyborg kind of gets a little uppity. It's like, yeah, you downloaded a virus into Brainiac 5, but Brainy's a whole ass computer. You're currently in a pool of water. Guess what conducts electricity? Metal and flesh. Oops.
Yep.
Whereas Brainiac 5 is actually probably pretty well waterproofed. But I mean, hey, it's not like I haven't seen Megatron get bitch slapped with a water tower by Shockwave because he didn't take time to repair properly. Oops.
Well, then again, as you guys know, that's everything within a nutshell. And as I always say, what did you think of the episode? Again, have you even seen this? And a lot of things going on. I don't know if me and Jherick have been attributing to that, but a lot of people have been talking about this one again. I mean, not a whole lot, but there have been a lot more videos that I've found, whether that's the algorithm or other things, but seems a lot of people have talked about this one.
And hey, what do you think? Who should Brainiac 5 go out on a date with? ChatGPT or OpenAI? Maybe Grok? Mecha Space Hitler and Brainiac 5.
Alright, on that note, I'll see you guys again later, alright?
Deuces.